Hello fellow Tenno and welcome to this Demon Vault build. You guys like to do a lot of damage, don't you? I want to show a bit of a versatile Vault build today, which you can use for ranged weapons and melee weapons. Firstly, the Archon shards don't really matter here. I'm just using these casting speed shards for other builds, but they do help with general casting. Ability duration shards here, although you can also use primary status chance or violet shards for electric damage. Those also work really good. The choice is yours. On to the build now. I'm going to be using Shock Trooper, which is the augment for Vaults 1 to add additional electricity damage, sitting at around 200% extra damage from Shock Trooper right now. This is pretty important for your electric dots, as the higher the electric damage on your setup, the more damage your electric procs will do, which works inversely to things like Gas, Blast, and Slash, which don't scale with elemental damage, but electricity, toxin, and heat actually do, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. So the more electricity damage we have on the build, the more damage our electric procs are going to do. So Shock is going to help us out with that. Speed will increase our movement speed and reload speed as usual, but it also increases our melee speed, which it doesn't actually say. It doesn't tell us that it does that. Here we are, meleeing normally. Pretty slow. Activate speed. And now we're faster. Electric Shield for some defense. It also gives additional 100% critical damage when you fire through it with ranged weapons. It doesn't say that, but it does. And then it also gives you an additional electric damage per stacking shield. And then finally I've subsumed over his fourth, so we are losing a bit of CC and defense, but in exchange we are getting more damage and double dipping on our electric dots. Corrosive protection. Enemies have less armor, they take more damage. I'm sure fitted to stick my feet to the ground and not get knocked over. And then the only energy economy I have here is Prime Flow. We're not going to be casting these abilities all that often because they have very long timers thanks to those duration shards. So I don't have to cast too often, and it's usually enough energy, especially on high density missions. Primed Redirection, Fast Deflection, Adaptation, and Rolling Guard for defense. Blind Continuity for more duration, and Blind Rage for more strength. This is all pretty optional, just mod to your preferences. Mult Augmented here for more power strength, up to 60% additional power strength. However, Arcane Avenger is also really good. Arcane Aegis on shield damage, 3% chance with 30% shield recharge for 12 seconds. This is very powerful. This basically makes you invincible to everything but toxin procs or health drains for 12 seconds. It's very, very, very strong. Moving on to the primary weapon of choice today, I'm going to be using the Gaze with the Tremor Grip and a Macrophymoid. Again, mod to your own preferences. I'm using gas and electric. I'm using raw, so I might as well take advantage of damage over time effects. Using Galvanized Chamber, Serration, Malignant Force, and this Riven, which has heat and crit chance to combine for gas damage. Also, the crit chance means I don't have to mod on a crit mod, saving up the space. And then we have Vital Sense, Rifle Elementalist for more status damage, Galvanized Aptitude for more status chance and direct damage, and then High Voltage at the end here. Mod to your preferences. For example, you could add something like Prime Firestorm, Shred, a Bane mod, entirely up to you. Using Vigilante Supplies, which gives us a 5% chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons. I don't know why it's saying 20%. I don't have any other Vigilante mods on my setup. I don't believe. I think that's a bug. Visual bug. And then we have Pack Charge for battery recharge delay. This basically allows your weapon to recharge automatically without manually reloading. Eventually it will just recharge. Primary Deadhead gives us additional damage on headshot kills, and then a 30% headshot multiplier. For the secondary, using Epidahl Prime, just a generic sort of primer here, and then I'm using Secondary Fortifier, which basically makes you invincible. So Secondary Fortifier will do damage to enemies with Overguard, and then that will add to your Overguard. This procs on damage over time effects like heat, which is what I'm proccing here. So as long as I'm proccing heat on an Eximus unit, I will constantly regain Overguard. And you can use this on any Warframe. The downsides, of course, you need an Eximus unit to be in the area. Comes in handy in a pinch. And then the main weapon of the build, we're using the Prisma Oma here. This thing is really good. It has innate electricity damage on it. The real star of the show is melee influence, which I'll get to. Using Condition Overload for melee damage per status type affecting the target, Galvanized Steel, crit chance, and crit damage, which stacks up to 120%, Galvanized Elementalist for status damage, and status chance, which stacks up to 120%. Shocking Touch, because I didn't want to former out the dash polarity, so I just lazily put Shocking Touch in there for more electric dot damage. Berserker Fury for attack speed on melee kills, Scales, Gladiator Might for crit damage and melee crit chance per combo multiplier. And then we have Weakening Wounds and Blood Rush. Weakening Wounds for the CH chance per combo multiplier, and Blood Rush for crit chance per combo multiplier. And then of course we have the main star of the show, is melee influence. I mean, this arcane is broken. It's so good. You can literally just grab any weapon, stick electricity damage on it, high status, put this arcane on, and you're good. You're fine. You'll kill everything. You turn your melee weapon into a mobile nuke, essentially. Don't nerf, please. Don't nerf it. So, melee influence, this is without buffs. I haven't even activated Raw. And then I'm going to activate my buffs. And it's just one hit, pretty much. Well, on Companion, it doesn't matter. Just use whatever Companion you want to use. So on the Panzer Vorpile, I am using Calculated Redirection and Reinforced Bond for the additional fire rate to my primary weapon. We're also spreading viral procs with Viral Coils and Panzer Devolution. And I am also getting, obviously, resources, health orbs, and a 1.2 final critical damage multiplier. So let's go do the build. Let's go test it out.
I just wish he knew.
And that is the demon, Electrocutioner Volts. Thank you for watching this video, my fellow Tenno. I'll see you in the next one, and bye bye.
I just wish he knew.